Hello hogs! In today's challenge run video, we'll be beating the base game of Elden Ring, including Malenia, with just flails. Now I don't know too much about flails, and I honestly don't know too much about a lot of weapons in this game. So as a series, I'm trying to explore as many different weapon types as I possibly can, hopefully all of them at some point. And then eventually we'll ease our way into the DLC, as I am just getting back to being familiar with the base game. This is a video all about flails and if they are a viable weapon or not. I start the game off as a wretch as I'm trying to do a quality build for this one. I'm not really entirely sure how to build a flail, but I feel like wretch is a good start. We take our naked booty on into Limgrave, where it all starts. Grab a smithing stone, grab a horse from a lady we don't know, and look at that, our first flail. Luckily this one's pretty close by. Grab some more smithing stones, grab a book off a dead guy, and a flask to drink the blood of my enemies. Next up, we take this very well hidden teleporter that surely nobody will ever find. Which brings us to a dragon on a bridge. I'm kind of scared of it, so I run away. I hide behind this tree, and I run like hell. Jump across the bridge because I don't want him to get too close. Turn around to see if he's following me, and, sir? Are you okay? I think he malfunctioned. We're just gonna walk away from this one. Please don't tell any of the other dragons this happened. This is embarrassing. After that weird incident, we find a little tiny castle, and I'm gonna head inside. But first, we level up. Inside the castle, I find a suspicious ladder with some floating dust. Might want to wear a mask for that. Jump into this hole. Oh, there's a rat. Hey, rat. Oh, another rat. And I find a piece of some guy's body. Yummy. And after that, I somehow end up in a weird looking place with some sexy little birds flying around. I find, once again, another castle. And find a spell to light my body on fire. Seems pretty useful. I home run a beetle off a cliff. Climb a bunch of ladders to find some gold. And some stones at the very bottom. I head down to get this thing that makes me stronger. And then I attack a guy on a horse because he looked at me kind of funny. I find a pot thing. He looked at me funny too. He has to go. And then I find Santa Claus, and he gives me a pot and a thing to craft stuff with. Nice guy. Find some more stones. Let's find a crab with some stones. Found some plant with some stones. A lot of stones in this game. Find a dragon guarding a key. Must be important. Find some more stones with some octopus. Another beetle. This one lets me light my weapon on fire. And some more stones, and another well-hidden teleporter. I kill 1,472 of these guys to try to get his weapon, but they all just seem not to let them go. Weird. I find a guy riding a horse. His weapon looks pretty cool, and I want it. He's very tricky, though. That guy down gives us our third flail of the day. Then we go kill a big giant dragon with our brand new flail. He gives me a bunch of money. Thanks, dragon. I just swing wildly and I find an item. That's kind of weird. And all that leads us to a hobo with a stick. What a great reward. I think my weapon is around +6 or so at this point. Nothing too overpowered. But we're dual wielding, trying to jumping strat, and trying to do spinning chain when we can. As you can see, we got our big opportunity when he was stunned, and it absolutely shreds him with Blood Flame Blade. See you later, hobo. At this point, I kind of have an idea on how to build. I want to do a multi-hit kind of build, since spinning chain hits, obviously, multiple times. So we go into Stillwater Cave, find this dirty, dirty man inside. And with a couple jumping attacks, we put him in the dirt. He gives us the Winged Insignia Talisman, which helps boost our attack damage, and we're trying it out on Gostock. I take the secret Stormvale Castle teleporter that nobody really knows about, and end up inside this dark room. Since the Flail moveset is kind of booty, I decide that I'm going to rely on jumping attacks when I can't Spinning Chain. So I grab the Claw Talisman, head into the Raylucaria Crystal Tunnel to get some upgrade materials for later weapons. Level up some weapons, head back to Stormvale the right way. These guards must have an off day or something because they can't really seem to hit me. This set of guards can't seem to really hit me either. Or maybe I'm just that good. It's probably that I'm that good. And we find a guy with 18 arms. I decide to put Hoarfrost Stomp onto one of them so I can get a cold effect on Godric, or whichever boss I'm fighting, to get some extra damage on. And look for some opportunities to Spinning Chain. Unfortunately, Godric attacks pretty quick. There's not too many opportunities where Spinning Chain is the best, but we try to make it work. Into phase 2, we decide to try to get a stun off, so I get another Spinning Chain attack. This seems to be the best opportunity on a lot of bosses. If you can get a stagger in, and then just Spinning Chain instead of riposting, works pretty well. And with Big Doofus down, it's time to level up. After Big Doofus, it's on to Hogwarts, where we're gonna go fight our next boss. I decided to confuse these bad boys first, and look at this amazing charged R2. Probably the worst one I've ever seen in the game. And we go for a little skip to get across Raylucaria, so we don't have to go through the main doors. It's not a big deal, it's just kind of fun to do. We find some dogs and we take them up with us. Just have a little party, a little dance off. Find another dog. This dog is always so annoying. I hate this dog so much. Luckily, he doesn't have a lot of HP, so we can just kind of shred him. Or he shreds me. One or the other. Someone's gonna die. Worst charge attack I've ever seen. It's so bad. I'm running out of heals here. Gotta do this one hitless. Uh-oh. And the hound goes down. 1 HP. What a god gamer. I find some children in a weird room. And a big lady in the sky. Luckily, we have Spinning Chain. Yeah, Spinning Chain works amazing if enemies don't move around, obviously. The problem is getting them to stay still long enough. Jumping attacks on the double chain seem pretty good as well. I think I'm just two-handing this one, actually, not even dual wielding. And Renala, of course, is super annoying. Gotta wait for her to summon a bunch of bullshit, run around the place for a while, trying to get in close, but it's honestly impossible sometimes. Some days you get good RNG with her, some days you don't. This is one of those days. Amazing attack range on the flail, of course, getting work done. The dogs come out. And some more stalling happens. One more attack, Renala goes down. Time to level up. I decide I'm gonna need a little more damage, so I go and get the Dex tier. That went well. Find a guy hiding in a pot, so I might as well just murder him. And we need Altus Plateau access. I didn't get the Dectus. I do like to mix it up every once in a while. So we go through the caves and get absolutely destroyed by some magical bats. Go back to Round Table Hold and find this guy there. He gets absolutely shredded. Yeah. And it's off to fight the Magma Worm. I feel like this is a good opportunity to test Spinning Chain. Yeah, as you can see, when enemies behave properly, Spinning Chain is a workhorse. This thing is great. And it's off to Altus Plateau. Hello, dragon. Get stuck on some rocks, but I end up getting up. And it's on to another boss for another talisman. Spinning Chain. All you need. With the queen down, we get access to her chest. Not that one, you sick perverts. And we get the Ritual Sword Talisman, which gives us extra damage when we have full HP. Grab some materials for our flask. Level up. Head into another cave for some more smithing stone bell bearings. Take care of this little guy first. Grab the chest with the smithing bell bearing inside. Level up a weapon or two. And we're going to grab the Grace next to Radahn's teleporter, just in case we need to go there soon. Apparently we went there soon. If you didn't know, there's a Somber 5 hidden in the back here if you ever do need one. I never see anybody grab this one, so here you go. And it's on to Radahn. We do a little trick, running back immediately so Radahn doesn't do his crazy arrow stuff at the beginning of the fight. Buff up. Get our Blood Flame Blade on. And we're going to dual wield and Spinning Chain this boss to death. Looking for a very specific attack here where he crosses swords and charges. And we're going to get to work. Not the best start I've ever had on this fight. But not the worst. I forgot the Char 2 is really bad. That's my fault. He probably would have been dead here if I Spinning Chain first. Unfortunately, he goes into phase 2. What a pity. Anyway, we chase him down. Look for him to expose his boy Leonard. Oh. Making this fight hitless. Like the absolute god gamer that I am. And then we spin a horse to death. Easy fight with Spinning Chain. Not too bad. With Radahn out of the way, we're going to pop his soul. Hit some more levels, of course. And we're going to head to the Sage's Cave where there is another flail. This cave kind of sucks. It's been a while since I've been through here too, so I got a little lost. And there are so many hidden doors in here. It's insane. Grab another chest and a chest piece that allows our jumping damage to be even more amplified. Put that thing on right away. And head to the boss. Where we, surprise, surprise, Spinning Chain him to death. Snail's fighting for his boy. He's one last desperation attack. It was a nice try. We get the family heads, and it's back to Caria Manor to progress Ronnie's quest line. For some reason, this horse just stops working, so I buff it up with lightning. And do what you do with spinning chain. See you later, ghost lady. With the ghost lady out of the way, we move on and talk to the lady here. We decide we're going to do whatever she wants. She has that kind of power. We go into Nokron, and we find our next boss, which is myself. We leave him with one weapon that he can fight with, just to give him a fighting chance. Doing absolutely no damage, that's really unfortunate. The moveset on the dual-wielding flails is kind of bad. Is what I'm realizing. The dual-wielding and the charged R2s are just abysmal. Just very slow. Anyway, we continue on to Nokron and finish our quest for our new lady friend. Find a chest with an item in it. And we return it to her immediately. Finishing this quest line gives us access to this teleporter. Which brings us into a very scary land. Head through the depths of this underground sewer, whatever this place is called. Find a bunch of ants. And we head down this elevator. We find a bunch of blood, which is kind of nice. We grab a Somber 7 and continue right into the doors. No problems at all. Through the doors, we find, at the very end, a coffin we can hop into. This looks cozy. Don't mind me, I'm just going to take a little nap. Anyway, we ride the coffin and we find some kind of scorpion creature. And spoiler alert, he puts me in his gut, never to be seen again. We'll come back later. Back to Altus Plateau. Off to find another horse. I decided to test the spinning chain out raw and with really no setup. And it seems to have potential. I wasn't too happy with the opening. I kind of just give it up here and try again. I feel like I could have had a better opener than what we got. So we try it again close to the stairs. And would you look at that? Absolutely shredded. What a insane Ash of War sometimes. Anyway, we finish this bad boy off with not too much trouble. Ugh. Not too much trouble. And Draconic Tree Sentinel is down. Pretty fun way to kill him, to be honest. With our newly gained access to the capital, we go and murder a big giant tree. Of course, Spinning Chain does work pretty good on this guy. With Blood Flame Blade, they are weak to fire. The reason we basically kill him is he drops an item that has a rune that is worth 50,000 runes. Not too bad for, 10 seconds of your time. And with him down, we talk to our wife first, just for some encouragement to fight a golden ghost. He's scary. This fight is where you start to see Spinning Chain fall off. There is not a lot of opportunities to pull it out. So we just go with the dual wield build. Try to do some jumping attacks. The only big problem with doing jumping attacks or dual wielding is the stamina usage is pretty intense. We don't get a lot of opportunities to punish. We do have to stay on our toes and make sure we have enough stamina to dodge. Just threw a kukri there for absolutely no reason. Yeah, this fight's going pretty bad. Anyway, we reset the fight, and it's back to business. Not a really tough boss, but it does give you a preview of mobile enemies and bosses that don't like to stand still, which could be a problem later on. We go and fight Margit. This is one of those fights where, yep, it is a problem. I just want to explain that I was extremely tired while fighting this boss. I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and at the time of this recording, it was like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm just wiped out. Not making too many excuses, but this is what was happening to me at that time. And the range on his swords were just absolutely destroying me. Like, I don't know what was going on in this one. I call it for the day. Grab a wet blade, and then I resume my good fight for the next day. I decided on the next day, since I've had some time to sleep on this, to get some more help. So we go do Millicent's quest line, kill Commander O'Neill, which apparently was pretty easy. Spinning chain, of course, doing work when things stay still. The summons, man. The summons. And with him down, we continue Millicent's quest line. Get the needle. Give the needle.
You ask that I quell the
She gives us a thing. And then we have to continue her quest line. But first, I don't know why this guy showed up. But on the way to continuing Millicent's quest line, we gotta murder this guy because I want the Sacred Tear. Into the Shaded Castle, we get the Valkyrie's prosthesis and give it to Millicent to continue her quest line once again. And it's off to find the boss of her quest line, or at least part of her quest line, the Godskin Apostle. I felt like I could have strafed that one and continued spinning chain, but that's okay. Spinning chain with a big stun. Backstab, so we get a little more time for him to stand up to get our stamina back. And Godskin Apostle is down. Unfortunately, though, we need an item that Millicent has, and she won't give it to us. I asked, trust me. So we spinning chain her to death. Poor girl. So we go back to the boy Margit. We did put Chilling Mist on instead of Hoarfrost Stomp because he is kind of mobile. And it gives us a buff to our weapon at the same time, which is pretty helpful. Margit is a squirrely guy, so we really got to take our time. I realized spinning chain wasn't going to do too good, so I just go for jumping attacks and two-handing the weapon. Yeah, this is where the flails definitely fall off. Any other weapon could have been way better for this. Just stunning him and staggering him. It just doesn't work too well with the flail, unfortunately. We go for the sleep pot strat on him. Hopefully we can get a spinning chain off on him. This is the one opportunity we really get to do it. And it did pretty good. Not mad at it. And we just look for the rest of the fight to finish. A couple more hits, and this bad boy is down. Thanks for the runes, big fella. Level up once again before going into the mountaintops. I lied. We're going to Caelid. We're going to get Craig's Blade first, but the Craig Blade Beetle is being an absolute piece of shit. And now we can go safely to the mountaintops, but I lied because we're going to get a Scarab Beetle first. This guy drops a Somber Smithing Stone 6, so we don't have to go to Volcano Manor for 5 and 6, or 7. Along the way, we did pick up the Somber 7, and we're going to head into the Zaymore Ruins. for another smithing bell bearing. There it is. And we level up our weapons once again. Trying to get as high as possible for the fire giant, because the fire giant is a piece of crap. Here is another somber smithing stone 8 if you do need one. After the bridge where the giant golem shoots arrows at you, and it's onto the fire giant. I used the flail in my no weapon upgrade run to do some damage on the fire giant. It worked pretty good. Unfortunately though, he's being kind of a dick and running around all over the place, so I don't get a lot of opportunities to get the Ash of War off all consecutively. And then he blocks with his hand. I got pushed to the other side. Unfortunate. This boss is super annoying. You think with a boss so big it'd be easy to hit spinning chain consistently on, but of course he is just one squirrely big guy. Luckily he doesn't take too much brain power to really take down, and it's into phase 2. We got randomly hit by a fireball entering into phase 2. I lied about the brain power thing. Barely survived. Absolutely ruined the start of phase 2. Unfortunate. I'm just getting greedy here because I was upset. I normally wouldn't attack like that, but hey, it worked out. And the rest of this fight is him just running around from me, chasing him up and down. Your standard fire giant fight. I opt for R1s instead because spinning chain, it just takes too many resources to really get down, and he's always constantly moving after a couple seconds anyway. It's not really worth it for us. This fight goes absolutely horribly, and there's not really much to it. Just hit him, run away. Hit him, run away. It almost feels like I'm using a no weapon upgrade because he has just so much HP. And second by second, we whittle him down. We level up. Not much happened in Farum. We're just going to go straight to the Godskin fight. Going to go for a sleep pot strat. Unfortunately, we shot a little too far. But that's okay. We got a couple extra pots. So my initial plan was to spinning chain them both to death. But first we're going to buff up, make sure we have enough damage for it, and test it out. This is my first encounter with them, and I'm not sure how this is actually going to go. Spinning chain in theory did feel like a good idea since they're sleeping and they take a while to stand up. Honestly, not too bad. He does get into phase 2, which isn't too much trouble for us. Of course, I use the family heads while sitting on this pillar to get some free damage. And first guy goes down pretty easily. For Godskin Apostle, I try the spinning chain. Unfortunately, all my buffs kind of run out, but it does do a lot of damage to him. Take a fireball in the back, that's okay. I decide to try to man fight him before his buddy comes back. And kind of works out in our favor, actually. I'm running pretty low on HP. I don't have any more FP flasks. So we're going to have to do this fight the old-fashioned way. Luckily, in my no weapon upgrade run, we did have to fight him quite a bit. I found a little strat where you can get him to repeat the same move over and over, which is really helpful to do. Just got to watch out for Skinny trying to blow my back out with a fireball. If you don't hit Skinny, he's usually pretty passive, so we try to avoid hitting him while also not taking fireballs. And unfortunately, we just gotta wait this one out. I try to attack him like an absolute moron. Don't attack him when he's spinning. And we go back to the strat. Slam, roll, repeat. If he lets us. And then we got him in the loop. Perfect. I don't know why this works. It's just something I found on one of my other runs. Is really helpful. And Godskin Duo is slowly getting murdered. As we almost get one-shotted by the Apostle. What an absolute god. So I'm kind of stalling here to wait for him to summon his friend again so I can get some free damage. I don't really want to man fight this one. I don't know his moveset as much as I do with Noble. So with the fireballs, I know they're safe. We can roll in on them. But the rest of attacks, I'm not entirely sure what to do. So we see him summoning his friend back. Jumping attack and some dual wielding and gets them both down. Not too bad of a fight. And we level up our weapons. And we head on to Estelle, the run back. This time, I have a little more knowledge. We fought him once, we've seen some tricks. And I have a lot more HP to survive his bullshit. Go for some jumping attacks, and we have more damage as well, so this fight should go okay. This is one of those boss fights that could have been maybe executed a little better, but there is Estelle. It's very awkward to fight. You don't get a lot of opportunities to do a lot of things to him. Just try to go for the headshots as much as we can and avoid the craziness. Unfortunately, he does get a teleport away. Could have almost killed him before he could do the meteors, but it is what it is. Yeah, I've seen that move before. We get stuck under his jaw, but it's enough for a jumping attack, and Estelle is gone. On to the bird section. I just decide to say, you know, screw it. Let's just run for it. Absolute horrible decision. I don't know why I did it like this. Almost lost it. And on to Malekith. I don't really have a good strat for this one, to be honest. I'm just going to do some jumping attacks, I believe. We wait for his opening attack. Luckily, we get the lunging one. Couple dodges in the right pattern, and we get some free attacks on him. He's a little too fast to be using family heads, so we just go with melee attacks. Again, luckily I have quite a bit of experience fighting Malekith from the no weapon upgrade run and the torch run. A lot of low damage runs we've been doing. So fortunately for us, this fight goes pretty well for most of it. Phase 2 I'm still a little iffy on, but I know enough in Phase 2 to get through the fight without any real issues. Again, we always look for the stab attack, dodge a couple times, and we get a free attack. Send him to Phase 2. Phase 2, we wait for this giant sweeping attack so we can get in and hopefully go for a stun. Sometimes you don't get a stun, but it's okay. We did enough damage to start the fight. Malekith doesn't have too much HP to really worry about it. This attack, you could just walk right underneath. If he does the triple beam attack here, roll backwards on the third one, and roll backwards once again, you'll get a free attack. Again, triple beam attack, roll backwards, roll backwards. And unfortunately, the flails are just a little too short on that one. Malekith fight is just a lot of patience. I rolled instead of walked like an absolute moron. It's just how it is. Yeah, the weapon set on Flails, dual wielding or single, is just kind of atrocious. It's not my favorite set so far, but it's honestly not horrible though. There's probably something worse out there that we haven't used yet. I mean, torches weren't that great besides posture breaking, but we'll probably eventually run into the worst weapon type. I don't know what it is, but I think everything's pretty viable in this game. And Malekith down. We head on to Gideon, everyone's favorite piece of shit. But first, we level up. We buff up before Gideon. I believe I put Wild Strikes. Yeah, Wild Strikes on one of my weapons to try to really bully him. Trying something a little different this time.
And here you come to stand before the Elden Ring, to become Elden Lord. What a sad state of affairs.
Go for a charge R2 for initial damage. And then, honestly, 2 hits of Wild Strike puts him past half HP, but unfortunately he heals. And we gotta fight this normally.
Unto eternity.
Luckily, again, I did this on no weapon upgrade, and I had to hit him 1 trillion times. So this one was a lot more manageable, and we level up. On to Horaloo. I decide I'm just gonna two-hand the weapon. Dual wielding's probably a little too slow for this fight. We go with the cold infused chain link weapon. Just to get a little extra damage on him. That was a little sketchy. Decide to trade with the big guy. I wouldn't recommend it. Honestly, not too happy with this first phase fight, but you know, it happens. Not my cleanest for sure. And this is where the flails for me are really falling off. They're just not that great at just attacking. They need a gimmick to it. Just straight up fighting, it just doesn't work too well. But again, good enough to get into phase 2. I go for the Wild Strikes here just to test it out and get stomped for my troubles. Phase 2 is always a little scary. He could just pop you up in the air and kill you immediately. So I'm being very cautious. But not cautious enough. And we almost get him down, but at the last second, he gives us the big giant power bomb and flatlines us. It does happen. So we go again, like you do. This time we're going for the dual wield, just try to get a little more damage so this fight doesn't take too long. Again, I'm not too impressed with the dual wield. It's very slow and kind of clunky, but it does work. This fight went a little better the second time around. And we get the lucky stun, which is really nice. And get the riposta. Not even gonna try with the Wild Strikes, to be honest. We get him into the next phase. Dodge him like an expert. Run out of stamina and almost die. Well done. And we level up. Now we're not gonna go fight the final boss yet. We're gonna go fight Commander Neil. Commander Nail, Commander Nile, Commander Newell, whatever his name is, and take care of the summons first. The summons always give me just a little bit of problems, but they're down and it's on to the main fight. We do a bunch of jumping attacks just to get him into this part of the phase. I get stuck, unfortunately, on some weapons, and I'm not far enough away for the blast, but he gives us a big opportunity to do a spinning chain. A very big opportunity, let's say. So big, in fact, that it just ends the fight. Yeah, sometimes this Ash of War is honestly the best. So satisfying to do. With him down, we get the next part of the secret medallion and head on to the Hailing Tree. Get the Grace close next to it because we're going to go fight one more big tree guy for the Physic tier, which allows us to do more damage on consecutive hits. Of course, another tree. An easy fight for us. So tip, if he does jump up in the air and does the rot, don't stand in front of it. Yeah, just get out of there. Couple more spinning chains and roll to diagonal on him so you get behind him. That's how you actually avoid the jump. And he tweaks out at the end. And gives us his tears. Thanks, tree. And it's off to Miquella's Hailing Tree. We go for a quick skip. And it's on to Loretta. This fight, honestly, not too special. Again, my distaste for Loretta. I don't really find this boss too entertaining. She just likes to do stuff like this all the time. Jump away from you. Don't really get a lot of opportunities to attack, but I just say, you know what? I'm just going in. She can hit me, I can hit her. We can trade all day. Go for a spinning chain. Don't even care. Just keep doing it. Worked out honestly pretty good. A little early on that one, but that's okay. She is almost dead, and I am fully alive. Again, I say screw it. I'm just going to attack her. I don't care if these glint blades hit me. We're going in. Loretta down. Level up. We get the Grace for Malenia, and then we get the Teleporter for Big Bad Moog. On to Moog. This one, I'm not entirely sure what I should be doing. Feels like it's been forever since I fought Moog, but it was last week. But again, new weapon type. We're just trying to figure out the best way to approach this one. I'm a little rusty on him. I kind of forget what he's doing. This part goes like pretty bad. The first attempt. I just forget all the timings. I like to keep these attempts in. Just to show, you know, I am a human being. And I do suck every once in a while. Yeah, that part's done. We're just gonna move on and show the real attempts. Again, not even the best, but it's a lot better than the other one. I actually kind of like fighting Moog. He's pretty fun. Once you get used to it. I don't know why I charged R2 there, but it worked out. Again, charged R2 for some reason. I think I'm using a different weapon. It's not the case. So I try to time spinning chain here, so he doesn't really heal too much. And we can hopefully get a stun off him, but this doesn't happen. Oh, it does happen. My bad. It does happen. Yeah, pretty good opening on that one. Unfortunately, though, I am bad at the game. And I kind of panic when I see him this low. And almost just absolutely blow this attempt. Yeah, probably could have killed him right there. I was just a little scared. But honestly, patience does pay off every once in a while. I say, you know what? I'm not in a rush to finish this. I will wait for my turn. And run into a spear is what I meant. And then stand in fire is what I meant. Got a little lucky on this one. This proves that anybody can play Elden Ring. Even your dog, or your pet rat, or pig. And Moog is down.
As clear as day. The coming of our dynasty.
Moog win. And with Moog down, I decided to kill the moose. This fight sucked, so this is all you get from it. And on to Placidu 6. This fight is actually pretty fun with Spinning Chain. When you miss. Not doing incredible damage here with the dual stance. Just trying to build up a little bit of stun meter for the main event. JK, it's all gone. Anyway, we get an opportunity to Spinning Chain finally, and we get right in that Dragon Gut. Absolute greed. What are you thinking, cow? Again, just trying to get some hits in so we can get a stun off. But he does go into phase 2. Unfortunate. After he goes into phase 2, this fight is just very slow. A lot of waiting around and stalling. All your big buffs are gone. So, fortunately, he does land on the ground. Gives us a couple opportunities to body check us like that for no reason. So I decided I'm not going to be greedy anymore, and we're going to do this part properly. And we know he's going to do the fire up breath attack here, so we strafe around and go for the nice spinning chain. Gives us a lot of opportunities for damage here. We get a nice bleed proc. And get a little greedy on the timing on that one, but we do get the stun and the riposta. And fight is almost down. Unfortunately, the flails just have no range, and we missed the jumping attack and a couple other attacks along the way. He could have been dead. Who knows? Somehow get hit by dodging that. It's all good. And we know for this part he's going to go into phase 3 laser. So I run to the back of the arena, try to get him to follow me. Dodge it as best I can. And then get behind him for the spinning chain attack to finish the job. Don't have to deal with lasers, don't have to waste time. Placidu 6 is dead. Which leaves us with the next fight, Lord Malenia. This one, I realized really early on that I am medium rolling, and this fight is borderline impossible medium rolling. It's not a good experience. I wouldn't recommend it. Light rolling in this fight is just so much better. She does the big running slash attack here, and you can't dodge it really backwards on medium roll. Maybe sideways or something. I'm not really sure if you can. But either way, I'm realizing this part is cooked, so I'm going to just end this fight and switch up. Not working any better for us light rolling, but at least it gives us a better chance. Again, we go for the cold bleed to do as much damage as we possibly can. I don't really see too many opportunities to spinning chain her, so we're just gonna straight up fight her. Honestly, the flail does pretty good to bully her. I'm actually surprised. You get a lot more opportunities to attack than you do, say, with the torch run that I did. Yeah, Malenia, phase 1, not too bad. Slowly getting down. I still struggle really hard to do waterfowl dodges up close, so I'm being very cautious still. As one close-up waterfowl will end this attempt. One big cold proc, and Malenia is almost into phase 2. Phase 2, a whole different beast. This is another one where I just have to try to avoid close-up waterfowl. The rest of the fight is pretty simple. And this one, unfortunately, I got stuck. Somehow made it out of there by panic rolling. Don't even understand it. I'm always scared when she jumps in the air that she's going to waterfowl. And there it is. I was too late to recognize it, but luckily got away with it. Anyway, she stalls a bunch, and I thought she was going to waterfowl there, and I thought I was dead 100%. I was like, yeah, this is it for me. And there's the close-up waterfowl. Reacted decently enough to get out of harm's way. I don't know the fancy strat yet. One day I will learn it, though. Goes for the quick grab there. And she waterfouled. I didn't think she was doing it. That's my bad. Anyway, on to the next attempt. Phase 1 went pretty smooth before this one. So we do have a lot of heal pots left. And waterfowl comes out once again. This time we're ready. Attack we'd like to see. Get a free attack in. Thought she was waterfowling again. I can never tell. I think I'm just so paranoid that she's going to do it, that every attack looks like it's going to happen. Again, I thought she was doing it. Shame on me. I didn't want to lose this with one hit left. And she makes me pay for it by stalling quite a bit. And there is Malenia with the flails. Honestly, not too bad. After playing this game with just torch only, we've learned the Malenia fight. And this is just showing you guys the other flails that I didn't really enjoy too much. I felt using the family heads is just way too slow. And the damage was not worth it for what we're getting here. I mean, it's good for probably ranged enemies if you're trying to kill something from far away. But as a boss fight goes, it's really only good for a couple things. But yeah, not too impressive, to be honest. does take me quite a while to bring this tree down with a +10. And then we try the Bastard Stars, the one we got from Estelle. From Estelle's Remembrance. It's not bad, again, same kind of niche, where it's just a little too slow and not damaging enough. Maybe if you spec for it properly with magic and stuff like that, it could be a powerhouse, but the Ash Award just takes so long to do, and I think the Wing of Estelle is probably a better option if you're going to go with something like this anyway. But yeah, there you go. Showed the other flails off for you, and it's on to Radagon Elden Beast. Spinning Chain to start the fight, not too bad. Get him down to half HP immediately. Go for another Spinning Chain opportunity. Don't care if I eat a hit there. And we go into Radagon Phase 2, which he will not make it out of. Spinning Chain. Now with Elden Beast, unsure of the strat on this one. Just, he has so much HP that we can't really bleed him or anything. So I try to get a couple of quick hits on him and then Spinning Chain while he has some downtime. It does do good damage on Elden Beast, but it's just not enough to stun him. We gotta play around his fishy attacks. Luckily, we get some decent RNG. Even the R1 swings aren't too terrible. Try to get a quick hit in there. A little greedy. But yeah, Spinning Chain when we have the opportunity. And then just R1s when we don't get a big opportunity to attack. Nothing too special about this fight. Of course, run under the arm there for Elden Stars so you can avoid it as best you can. And dodge all the other crazy stuff that this fish likes to throw out. This fight is such a mess. Charge R2 because I forgot what weapon I was using. And back to the slams. This seems like a really good opportunity for Spinning Chain. It's racking up the damage. Get a little greedy there, but we have enough time to get out. But yeah, Flails, honestly, not too impressed by them overall, but they do have some very niche uses that are kind of fun, like Spinning Chain on enemies that give you a big opportunity, and if they bleed. But yeah, I'd give them like a C. They were fun enough to use for this run, and I didn't really hate doing this run. But of course, there's probably something better that you could use. Don't use Flails unless you really want to. That's my verdict. Anyways, thanks for watching. Let us know if you have any challenge ideas or run ideas, themed ideas, whatever it is. We'll see you guys in the next video.